Welcome in, Mosho Dan, and I hadn't played it again since. I still don't see why you hate that game so much. I mean, I know you told me that it was like confusing and hectic. Um, and it probably goes back into the fact that it's PvP, which I know you don't really care a lot for. So I guess, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's not everybody's cup of tea. But you just have like this virulent hatred for it. It's just kind of funny. I am great. I would be happy to explain myself sometime. All right, Magnard, on your own time, whenever is right for you, feel free to give me the entire 10-page dissertation, and I will publicly display it in every city hall in the nation. Yeah, it puts me to sleep. It puts you to sleep. Doesn't do that for me. All right, let's get started. This is it's been 2 weeks since we played. I don't even really remember where we're at. Dang. Okay, well, we just got to remind ourselves. This is the defendant lobby, all right. There's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Is that Edgeworth? It is Edgeworth. How did I know? Lana! Edgeworth. Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 777777777777777 ID number that is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Oh yeah, I know where we finished up. We were snooping in old orange suit piece of crap's office. And he kidnapped Emma for some reason. And we were just like, yeah, that's cool. Just leave this, I think, 16, 17-year-old girl with this guy? There's no way. Trespassing or not, he can't just take her away. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. The only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. Danger zone! For real. I'm kind of hoping something bird-related comes up tonight. So you can exercise your specialty in bird law, Magnus. Me too, actually. True. Not yet. Be on the lookout, Magnard. Be on the lookout for the birds. The burbs. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, Wright, and Chief Prosecutor Sky will be found guilty. What? 5 minutes? But she didn't do it. I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. Adventuring! Oh, okay, hold up. Adventuring can't hear, so I gotta type this. Adventuring is my favorite. I thought it was Little Bit. Or maybe me. The truth. Yeah, uh-oh is right. Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. You don't have time to reminisce about the past. Magnard is in trouble. I've never been his favorite. We hate each other, remember? No, a little bit. You misunderstood. When I said you were his favorite, I meant you're his favorite person to hate on. Little bit. That's what I was meaning. And you're starting a political party? Makes sense. Magnard, you're the best. Meow. Ooh. Magnard is a legend. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. Yeah, Edgeworth, this is pretty important to you too. See you in court, Wright. This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. Are we looking at the final episode? I can't see there being more than one episode after this. A love story between Adventuring and Magnard. How sweet! Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. Whoa, why is there ads on the mobile app? I don't know, Adventuring. There hasn't always been ads on the mobile app? I don't need air filters, Dystoria. I just thought they'd be useful. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Maybe you should just, I don't know, subscribe! Chief Gant. I gotta remember what this guy's voice is. It's chipper and pompous. That's pretty much how I framed him. Morning, folks! How's everyone doing? Hey, Udgy, been back to the pool yet? I think that's pretty close. No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Ooh, music's dying down. Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? I know what she's gonna do. She is gonna publicly admit her guilt, and we have to deconstruct her testimony and prove her wrong. It's just like what happened with Edgeworth. I'm sure that's what's gonna happen. Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. No. You're just creating trouble, Gant. What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request, and I'll be finished. Well, I mean, I just like to support my friends. I like to support too, though. Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. Huh? There it is. There it is. I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana! You can't! Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. Oh shit! She's dismissing me! But Lana! Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial. Emma needs to come in. Emma is the only person I think that can stop this. Even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise, this can't be happening. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant... Objection! Oh, Edgeworth. One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would be certainly premature. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut? Yeah, lay it down, Edgeworth. Let's go. I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. Oh shit, it's getting real. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal, Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. Oh, that's a low blow. Objection! Hey, Soundcat! Welcome in! How are you? I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh? To whom? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. Oh, we have to... Oh, that was clever from Edgeworth. Edgeworth knows Emma is the only person that can get through to Lana. Actually, like Gaunt style. Looks fresh. Gant sucks. He sucks so much you can't even hear me. Somebody tell Ed Venturing Gant sucks. Somebody just tell him. Somebody write it in chat. Doing good. Currently working on a voiceover mod for Payday 2. Oh, sweet! That's really cool. How's that coming along? Leon is sharing his cookie dough ice cream with Claire right now. Aww. That's so nice. So apparently my laptop has a hidden storage for Xbox games. What? Cance is orange, Dad. Mocho! What the heck? What is that? What is that sound, cat? What the heck is that emote? Sad Pock 1 Bean? Oh no! Not Sad Pock 1 Bean. Gant sucks. I don't know who is Gant, but Gant sucks. There you go, We don't know who he is, but he sucks. Lurk, love you, mean it. Alright, thanks for the lurk, Magnerd. Enjoy Destiny. Whoa, his sunglasses be smooth. That's the only good thing about it. That is the only good thing about him. He otherwise sucks. Yeah, how can there be a secret folder? A secret folder! I'm not surprised. 11.9 gigabytes. Like, what? I'm struggling with memory and my laptop is holding it hostage. Delete it! Get that out of here! Find something to delete it if you can't delete it yourself. Like a third-party application or something. That's an insane amount. I request the court hears her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation.
Like, how dare you? How dare you ask me? Don't you know how busy I am?
What?
How busy, importantly, I am?
What? That's a blurb? How is that a blurb? What? Salty? I'm like, why am I hearing that? What in the world, Salty? How did you do that? Mary Owie has transcended into the blurps. Yeah, that was Mary Mosho. Telling me that she's too busy for me. $6. $6 to have that on Blurp. That's crazy. Oh my gosh, Salty. Oh yeah, well for you, I can see it. I can see you paying $6 to have that as a blurb so you can just have that in Twitch. I can totally see that. I think I could have added it for you as a content creator. Oh my gosh, Salty. That was so crazy. That was so unexpected. I'm Blurp famous now for all the wrong reasons. I can add sounds and make them public for others to use. No, that's so... You know, a little bit. That just shows Salty's dedication to the meme. That's what that shows. Salty's dedication to the meme is worth at least $6. And I think that's a pretty powerful statement. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Sky. Yes, the meme. It's a meme at this point. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. $6 to simp over Mary Owie, worth it. Exactly.
Ma, there's a weird fucking stray cat outside. It looks like Grandma, the fucking thing. Hey, get the fuck out of here.
Adventuring. I don't even know if Adventuring could have heard that, because he's muted. My stream's muted for him. Oh, I love that. I love that one. It's a weird fucking cat outside that looks like Grandma, the fucking thing. Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request. Interesting. So... then what's Phoenix gonna do? Like, we can't deny her right to represent herself. So what's Phoenix gonna do? Just sit there and twiddle his thumbs? Phoenix is no longer required here, right? That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant? Worthy. You'll live to regret this. Mark my words. Ooh. Miss Emma Sky, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma. Emma Sky. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes, it most certainly is. Wait a second. Wait a second. Am I gonna play as Edgeworth? Is that what we're doing here? That's the only way I can see this making sense. I'm gonna be playing as Edgeworth. Well, okay then. He sure gave in fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. Or am I playing as Phoenix? Doesn't really make sense for me to play as Phoenix at this point. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. Still not as cool as Gantz. If you only knew, adventuring. If you only knew. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me. But I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. I'm pretty sure we know what happened here. Already. We just need to see how Gant is involved. That's the only thing we don't know. Like, why? Gant's motive. We need to know what Gant's motive is. Although I think I have an idea. It's a good thing you weren't harmed. I passed out. I don't remember much. That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. Yeah, we've pretty much got all the evidence concerning this. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Well, if... Interesting. BRB. Okay. Let's see. Well, like, if Lana is not self-representing herself, I guess... I don't know how that would work. I don't know how, like, we're respecting her wish to self-represent while also Still acting as her defense attorney? I don't understand that, because clearly we're still her defense attorney because we're acting as it. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct? Yes, she was second in command under then Deputy Chief of Police, Gant. That was hard to say. My sister, she was the best detective ever. Phoenix he's just got main protagonist armor now. It doesn't make any sense, Mosho. It doesn't have to make sense. He's main protagonist. So he just brute forces his way into the story. My sister, she was the best detective ever. Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gant and Miss Sky used to be quite the pair. I believe they shared the same office. That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day too. The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day. Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. A man? Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer. Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Sky in Gant's office. There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were 2 people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Almost forgot about Gant. Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assumed that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark. When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead. And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in. I don't clearly remember what happened then, but can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark just then. The lights went out. The lights? It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out? Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right? Right, but just then, lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind. I see. I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective? Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. No, let's hear more. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago. Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial. And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw. Yes, but At the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture, which we have. A picture. Yes, I think she mentioned that before. Salty is, splurging in the chat. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the high praise, Salty. You're okay, too. A picture. Yes, I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? No, let's keep going. This picture the witness drew, I believe it has a very important meaning. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost. We have it, though. Which we're going to undoubtedly bring to the court's attention. Still lurking, but wanted to remind you to make sure my Lana stays free. She will, Magnerd! Maybe. As much as I can. I'm gonna try. You drew a picture of the scene you witnessed? Yes, I wanted to do everything I could to help the investigation. Try harder. This game is very linear, Magnerd. I can only do so much. I'll get her as free as I can. I can still see it now whenever I close my eyes. That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died. Yet I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken. But I did draw it, I swear. I'm not just imagining it. So now I'm curious. Why was this... Why was this not shown? Oh my gosh, getting this thing in the right orientation. Why was this hidden? This was covered up for a reason, and we're gonna find out why. This picture that Emma drew, that reminds me. Guess I should check the evidence again. Well, anyway, let's continue. The scene that imprinted an image in your mind. Can you please describe it to us? The man... That must have been a real shock. Even now when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly. Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage. Yeah, that's one thing I've been wondering about too. Like, we don't know at what point she was no longer being held hostage. She just doesn't remember that gap, which has always been odd for me. When lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. I was thrown aside and the two began wrestling each other. Oh, I see. I'm pretty sure I was watching them. Emma doesn't have any reason to lie, but Lana sure does. I need to get Emma to tell me as much about this as she can. Alright. Here we go. Mr. Edgeworth, This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet, you would insist on denying its existence? I know, I'm like, what? Phoenix, why are you attacking him so hard? He's on your side. I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold! This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over? Turn it... Ah! What's this? Well, it's very sideways, but that's... There it is. Yes, what is that? Hey, that's it! That's the picture I drew. Indeed, two men appear to be wrestling here. I just noticed a detail. What is this? Now that's like super zoomed in. Is this something? This looks intentional. Well, now I'm really curious. Well, I don't know if we'll figure it out from here, but that looks intentional, whatever that is. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Yes, you, Phoenix. Constantly getting illegal evidence that you shouldn't have. Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Huh? These lists, they're different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what had happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you. What? What? Some scummy stuff happened back then. Real scummy stuff. But, Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list? Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. What? I mean, I was thinking that too. Like, why was her picture on the back? But, you know, all these details with Edgeworth never getting this list, and also that Goodman gave it to her, is really strange. Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor! Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head. Dang. Well, Judge, it looks like your eyes are bulging from your head. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. What? You're telling me after 2 years nobody saw that? Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. It's possible. Let's see. What is that noise? Is something wrong? Do you even have to ask? Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. Doesn't look like it. Looks blank to me. What is this, Edgeworth? What is this? It's the thing. What? He's back! What's his name? There he is. The Blue Badger, he's back! The return of the Blue Badger. That's that thing! That thing was dancing, that thing that was dancing in the evidence room. Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. Yeah, jamming out to this poppin' music. I guess he was out of scrap paper. Evidence list restored. List of evidence in the SL9 incident. Half this list was found at Gant's desk. Alright, now I want to see the completed picture. Whoa, that is janky. Why is it drawn like this? Like, what? Why is it... Draw it the same orientation. That's what I'm thinking. It's sideways. But... And what's this? This seems irrelevant. Whatever this is. Unless Emma was just feeling artistic. I don't know what this is. The stuff on the side. Okay, very strange. This is the type of music you murder to. I can see that. That just solved the case. I think that's the Badger things. The Blue Badger is the killer! He killed back then, and he's killing again today. Wait a second. I thought the Blue Badger was constructed recently. We found paint in the evidence room from the Blue Badger, I'm pretty sure. Am I mistaken? I thought the Blue Badger was something that what's his Gumshoe made recently. Very well. Witness? Lana is innocent. Well, who are you cheering for, Adventuring? Lana or Gant? Because they're not on the same team. I can promise you that. So who made the Badger? Gumshoe made the Badger. And he was very proud of it, too. Will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago? Yeah, and I want to know about the Blue Badger. Why is he there? I don't think he should be there. That doesn't make sense. If you were a good lawyer, here we go. Here we go. Then you'd help both. I don't think that's possible, Adventuring. You need Magnard for that. Magnard is the specialist for... Magnard is the specialist in bird law. And so... I'm pretty sure bird law has a little bit of crossover with what you're asking for, Adventuring. Free law, free Lana. Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor. We're gonna free Lana. We're not freeing Gantz. Gantz can burn. I know all about bird law. Yes, we know, Magnard. You're the specialist. What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. I'm lurking. Okay, adventuring. Thanks for the lurk. Going back to lurking. Love you, mean it. I know you do, Magnerd. Sounds like Magnerd is the best lawyer. I mean, he's the best lawyer in bird law, but once you start to go into other things, I feel like I've got a little bit of a step up above Magnerd, but absolutely, when it comes to bird law, there's no one better than Magnerd. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. Edgelord is guilty. Second best. Charlie is the real expert in bird law. Smoke bomb. Who the heck is Charlie? The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind. Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Did you draw this picture right after the incident? I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything. During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gant and Lana Skye. 2 or 3 days later, memory should still have been fresh in her mind. Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black? Yeah, I was about to say, all she could see was shadows. So at the time you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue? No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor. You were knocked to the floor? Dark had a tight grip on me, though when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed. Poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place? No, I'm sorry. The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here! Edgeworth's just getting back at Phoenix from earlier. Anyway, this picture. Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course, this is the exact scene. What is that? It's the caulk! It's so hard to see! It's so hard to see on my phone. Welcome back, little bit! I did know what it was. Well, I knew what it was because I clicked on it to read it again. Just so it zoomed in. Salty thinks you're cool a little bit. Salty just wants you to know that. It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives? Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright? No, of course not. I better watch out or he might find some way to cut my salary. That would be pretty impressive if Edgeworth managed to do that. I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me. Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture? Huh? Oh, well... That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here. Alright. So... Alright, let's look at the court record. I mean, I wonder what's... I don't know what's happening with the badger. Stabbed in the back. Died from the puncture. Are we calling into question the autopsy report? Well, what she saw in relation to the autopsy report. Because we already know wait a second, let me make sure. I mean, she's not saying that she saw the murder occur. Let me press this one more time. I'm gonna go through these again. I want to see what her wordage was again. Yeah, she's not claiming to have seen the murder occur. Alright. Let's look at what we've got. The only thing I can think of No, I don't think that makes sense. I wonder what this has to do with SL9. Interestingly. I don't know why I'm missing this. I don't... It's gotta be because it's the last time I played, it's just not fresh in my mind. So... the thing that he's holding is not black. So I don't know if that's important for some reason. Alright, this is what we're gonna do. I think I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and save. And I'm gonna represent this picture. Nope. Alright. But why is what he's holding grayed out? Alright, the only other thing I can think of is that it conflicts with the autopsy report. But she says that she didn't witness the murder, so I don't know if this is gonna work either. Okay, that is what it wanted. Ay, 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 ay. That is very circumstantial. She clearly said she did not claim to see the murder, the moment of the murder, which technically she didn't, but because she fainted, we don't know when the murder happened while she was fainted. It's the game pulling one of those again. Anyway, it was what I suspected loosely that was what it was going for. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction. I mean, it doesn't technically, but the game thinks it does. What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday. Mr. Wright? Perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report? I mean, he wasn't stabbed in the back. If we are saying that this is when the murder happened, this exact moment, then him being stabbed in the back doesn't make sense. Of course, we didn't establish that, but the game is acting like we did. Take that! Well, it's this part here. I don't see what's so strange about that. That's because the drawing stinks! Dang, Phoenix. That was brutal. Mr. Wright, how could you? The act of making an innocent girl cry should warrant the death penalty. Dang, Edgeworth. I guess he means I shouldn't shift the blame to others. So how long... So long as the defense has learned his lesson. I better take another look at the autopsy report in this picture. Mr. Wright? Alright. I know what I want to say, I just don't know what the game's wanting me to click on. Single stab wound piercing heart/lung. Died from blood loss in under 10 minutes. Weapon found in wound was missing tip. Is it... Alright. I know what I'm pointing to now, I guess.
Take that!
The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken. Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright. But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? The tip is broken too. I see. Ay. The game is being very subtle with how it's wanting to do this. If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body. It was a conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma.
Objection!
And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. That is an awful amount of extrapolation you're doing, Phoenix. You're assuming that she drew it that way because it was broken. Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. No, that's not possible, Edgeworth. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there. I know all of this. I already knew all this. The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence? You're treading on thin ice, Wright. All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. Order! Order! Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted? Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. I already know what happened. I just gotta get the courtroom in this game progressing to the point where I can prove it. The sword of this prosecutor's trophy is the murder weapon. And Phoenix is right. This is the falsified piece of evidence. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there's a lie. I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. Exactly. There must have been another broken knife. What are the chances of there being two broken knives? Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's? Could there have been one? Yes, there is. Finally, we're getting to the meat of this. If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error. Mr. Wright. In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume, then, that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us. Their murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. I'm presenting this picture, yeah? Yeah. The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right here inside this picture. This is the picture of the awards ceremony. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken murder weapon. The tip of the knife has strawberry jam on it, so it's not the murder weapon. Exactly. It's just some strawberry jam. No one really thought to take the knife to forensics and actually test to see if it's blood. They just assumed it was. All this time, it's just been strawberry jam, which explains the mold that was growing on it. Looking back at it. Notice the award prosecutor Marshall is holding. That's a broken knife. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. Order! 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 Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he was chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. But that can't be. Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutors Award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would have been reversed. Exactly. We concluded this at least 2 episodes ago. This is what happened. What do you mean? I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh. But the prosecutor was the one who actually died. That's true. What's going on here? It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions. Wait, I remember now. I remember everything. Witness? Mr. Edgeworth. What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please? His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back? Yes, let's figure out what this is about. I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it. Well, I would hope so. I thought that was already established. What? You drew that? That's right. The list wasn't torn in half. Oh my gosh, little bit. That's so loud. That scared me. That really got me a little bit. That was not even funny. I raised the volume of that to the maximum amount. So that was really loud. Oh my gosh. Freaking courage. That was terrible. Oh, courage has betrayed me. I almost spat out my cake from laughing too hard. You've got cake? You owe me cake now. You owe me cake for that. Oh my gosh, my heart jumped in my chest. Freaking courage. It's just box cake, nothing special. I don't care. I'll take box cake. Cake is cake. I'll get them when Publix has them on BOGO. Okay, little bitch. Get them when they're on BOGO. And send me one. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. Good gracious, that jump scare. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me. Am I broken, or is that dystoria? It's me! Emma was just drawing me. I was, I don't know, suspended sideways from the ceiling for some reason. Courage broke dystoria. Alright, am I back now? Was worried. I was like, what happened? Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know why. I guess my internet crapped out or something. Alright, but if we're back, snoozing the ad because we literally just started again. So dumb. So dumb that it wants to run an ad after the stream went down. It's like, oh, he's streaming again. It's time to run an ad. Anyway, yeah, courage broke dystoria. And also, yeah, I was suspended above.
No way! Somebody just touched my butt!
Salty. Get away from that person, Salty. They're trying to assault you. But yeah, the person, the one suspended above the murder scene in progress was me. I was just. That's why we have a 5-minute screen countdown. Exactly. Silly Twitch. Thought it was somebody touched my spaghetti. I was literally just suspended sideways above the murder scene. And that's what Emma saw, and that's what Emma drew. I actually saw the whole thing. Anyway, perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Sky? Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger. This should be interesting. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then, there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. What? He wasn't in the room, but you saw his shadow? How is that possible? Emma was having hallucinations, everyone. Somebody spiked her drink. This is certainly most unusual.
Objection!
Yeah, it is. Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed, translation error, designed him until this year. Exactly, that's what I was thinking. I thought I remembered that being the case. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago. Yes, well, the defense may now begin its Stop! Please, don't pursue this any further. Lana! What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair. But you can't do this! I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that? Chief Prosecutor Sky. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Edgeworth is playing hardball now. Wait, that's his lover. It's not his lover, Salty. The judge says silence, Salty. He's talking to you. The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant. It seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. Lana knows that this is going to bring out the truth of what actually happened. That Emma's the one that did it. When you say that man, I assume you refer to Joe Dark? Yes, at least I think it was him. You think? All I could really see were shadows. The power outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports. So then you... Why would you do something so dangerous? What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall. He seems convinced that Dark was the one holding the knife. But as we've just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife. Well, I didn't know that at the time. When that Dark guy knocked me down, all I could think about was, I've got to help that other person. What do you mean, you think? It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur. Miss Sky was almost killed before she was witness to a murder about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little disorientation is only natural. I saw the man about to stab the other person who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife. What you did was very brave, young girl. So then, what happened next? Are you sure about this? Of course, see? I even drew a picture of him here. But it was the chief of detectives who thought up this hideous beast. And that was just this year. The Blue Badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable. I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him before somewhere. Now I finally remember. Oh brother, just when you thought that thing had caused enough commotion. Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing? Yeah, this is the real kicker. His shadow? So you mean you didn't actually see his face, with its winning smile and all? That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns. This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken. That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did. Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation. If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was. What was it that Emma saw when that lightning flashed? Who is this Blue Badger, really? So, we know that it can't be the Blue Badger. Like Edgeworth said, it's verifiable that he did not exist. So then, what else could it have been? Let's say we don't know. Let's see where this goes. I absolutely and positively have no idea whatsoever. Well, he said that very confidently. Edgeworth is not amused. Well, it's always good to be sure of oneself. Apparently it helps when trying to overlook one's failures. But I know what I saw. I'm not making this up. Gant cosplaying Dystoria. What? Where? Mr. Wright, please, you've got to believe me. Emma, the Blue Badger didn't even exist 2 years ago. So what exactly did Emma see? I've gathered all the evidence. All that's left now is to put the pieces of the puzzle together. That's what she saw. Hey, Alistair! Welcome in! How are you doing? Alright, let's look at this again. Alright, I mean, it looks pretty clearly like the Blue Badger. But we know it's not. This doesn't seem very helpful. I'm doing good, how are you? Doing well also. Actually have been streaming for longer than what the stream says. My stream crapped out. But got restarted. Hopefully we can finish this game tonight, but I'm not entirely sure. I know I've been lurking for a while. Ah, gotcha. You won't? Oh no! When will it end? Alright, well that's fine. Alright, so... What? Oh, wait, hold on. So this piece is broken off, right? So hypothetically, it would look like these. Wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. Where's the picture? Where it is, here, right here. Well, it's on the wrong side, though. Goodness gracious, the controls in this. I don't want to zoom in. J. Why is E zoom in and J zoom out? Alright. I don't know. Alright, so... Hold on. I need to freaking look at this again. Forgot about the NVIDIA driver update. When are you going to download League? No current plans, Alistair. No current plans. Like you, I got way too much going on to pick up League. Like the game you played yesterday. It's not at all like the game we played yesterday. Is this? What? Like, there's... Moshe Dan, the favorable, the unhinged is down to play League. 10 out of 10. Moshe, is that true? Are you gonna play League? Wait a sec. Wait a sec. If I could get it where I need to. This is pretty similar. This is pretty much a similar silhouette. Right? Like, this is... Good God, it's so hard to turn this thing the way I want to. Or even that, just flipped... Yeah, flipped the other way. Good God, I can't get this to freaking... Whatever. This. That, right there. That looks a lot like the Blue Badger. That's very similar. Is this what she saw? I mean, it was broken. Did it fall? And in the flash, she saw it? That looks really similar to the silhouette. That's the only thing I can think of. Alright, we're gonna go with it. I think this is it. I think this is where we're going at. All the prongs face west. Not too late, because not too late, because I gotta work in the morning. Well, we're planning on, we're playing tonight, Mosho, if I can finish this up soon enough, which I hope I can. But yeah, this has gotta be it. This is the only thing I can think of. Yes, that's it. Yes, I was right. The mysterious blue badger was in fact this. But that's... what exactly is that?
Objection!
Objection! I believe it's some sort of jar. My gosh. Double objection.
Objection! Objection! Objection!
Why no?
Objection!
How many lawyers do we need in this chat?
Nani the fuck?
Yeah, Nani the fuck is right. Just got objection spammed.
Objection!
I know there's not that many lawyers in the chat. But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger. Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint? Gotta show them the correct angle to look at this from. Oh god, we gotta... Okay, this is it. It's just... backwards. We gotta... Alright, we do this. I don't want to mess this up and make it impossible to fix. Like that, right? Yeah? Well, is this a miracle or what? That looks really... Now that it's been, like, put exact, that's really close to it. That's crazy how close that looks. No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the blue badger. No. It can't be. Thanks for the jump scare, Salty. Unfortunately, you did that right as I was looking at chat, so it tipped me off that the jump scare was coming. I saw it appearing in chat. I wonder if there's a way to turn that off. Dear Lord. On an unrelated note, there's 7 days Horde event in McKinney, Texas, and I'm debating about flying over to check it out. So you gotta do it. Okay, I gotta go now. Go get him, Tiger. Okay, little bit. Thanks for stopping by and have fun in Hogwarts. I saw you booting it up. Thanks for the lurk, little bit. Order, order. The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witnessed on the day of this crime was actually this.
Objection!
Although we all enjoyed our Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What significance does this have, I think, is probably what Edgeworth's question is. Exactly, what's your point? What do you mean? So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything. Indeed. Very well then, please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar? The location? What is different now that we know that? I mean, we know what the murder weapon was. That's already been established. So this isn't it. The location? The murderer. It's the location because it was outside the room. It was outside the room. What does that mean? Wait, I don't... She says in testimony that she saw the shadow outside the room. Oh, I didn't remember that. Yeah, I guess so. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright. Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant. I'm trying to... Wait. Yeah, I know where this was. Okay, I see what you're saying, Mary Alley. I forgot that Damon Gant wasn't in that office. That wasn't his office at the time. Yeah, so that's obvious. This is the location. But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself. Yes, and it's these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Gant's office. Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office? Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright? I finally figured it out. This is why Lana tried to stop the trial. Too late to quit now, though. We're gonna spill the beans. We're gonna blow this case wide open. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying? That would have had to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall? Ladies and gentlemen, If I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit? The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword. Oh, I see. I see. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy. This all is making sense. No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. Yes, there is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility? Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless, can you bring yourself to say it? I don't know if I can go through with this. You have to, Phoenix. You have to say it. Mr. Wright? What's the matter? If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Skye knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall, you mean Mr. Marshall died because of me?
Nice.
Salty, that was terrible. That is not, it's not nice. The silence followed up by that. Oh my gosh, Salty, that was brutal. Poor Emma, dang. Nice. Oh, that was awful. Poor Emma, man. Oh. I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented. Well, Emma... Oh. What are you saying? I'm sorry, Miss Skye, but given the circumstances... Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her? Imagine that coming from you. I clearly cannot be in a court of law. No, you can't. Salty, you're banned from being in a courtroom. You're banned after that. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it? I assure you, Mr. Wedgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have to show proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall? Evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't. Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. No, Lana, you claimed that you were the first person to stumble upon the crime scene, so you're the person that has to testify. We certainly can't get dead people to testify. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Touché, Miss Sky. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility. You mean there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. In one manner or another. That's impossible. Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? Got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind. Little bit. Again. I'm trying to solve a murder here. I'm deep in thought. I can't have courage screaming and jump scaring me all the time. What would Courage say if he knew you were using his scream for evil? I stopped my stream just for this. You stopped just to do that. Just to come into my stream and jump scare me. Yes. Clearly. So, I think I remember this being something from before. Okay, I go quest some more. Go quest some more a little bit. I'm gonna go in there and jump scare you someday. And you'll remember this time when you jump scared me with Courage. I'll make you remember. The dark red stains must be blood traces left from the incident 2 years ago. Only the fragment found in Chief Gant's office still has lines remaining on it. Wait a sec. Is this... Hold on. This freaking jar, man! This freaking jar! Wait a sec. Is this... It's saying that only the piece that Gant had lines still on it. Which means that there's lines, was supposed to be lines on the rest of it. And I think I remember that from a conversation that there was something written here. This looks like it might say Emma. Like here's the E, M, and then A. That's it. That's the message. It's been rubbed off, though. This message from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer? Do not be mistaken, Miss Skye. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek, the truth. No matter how painful it may be. Edworth has to play things this way. He has to be the bad guy. We both do, actually. Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased. It's this. It's gotta be this.
Take that!
This is the message left by the deceased. This is that blue badger from before, right? Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name? If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. So, at what point did this get broken then? It had to have been intact when this message was written, right? It looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice, for some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away. Yes, there is a line here. Drawn in blood. So what you're saying is that these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent. No. This is gonna seal the deal. What kind of message did the victim leave for us? Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. I've got to connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim would have written, given the circumstances. His murderer's name. Okay. Oh, this is so cryptic. Well, not cryptic, but like unsettling. It's cryptic and unsettling, honestly. There it is.
Take that!
It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Of all people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye. Oh boy. Yeah, celebratory anime edition coffin dance. Yay! Yeah, everybody's happy. Happy ending. Hooray! Seaworthy, can't say I didn't warn you. This pompous asshole. Chief Gant. Do you understand the implications of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Oh. Wow. Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction.
Objection!
But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable. I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know we aren't defenders of justice? What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. What's going on at the prosecutor's office? He might have sent an innocent man to his death. How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault? Order! 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 The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Hold them all in contempt! Every single one of them! Dismiss the entire jury! Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. Is that it? That's it! That is it.